Hello and welcome to another update video about Dogecoin. So Dogecoin or Doge has lost the ascending trend line. That is not a great sign, not for the imminent wave 5 that you want to see here to confirm a bullish wave count. Yeah, my view is there is still ideally one more wave missing. So I would like to see one more leg up. Of course, it doesn't mean just because I like to see it, it needs to happen. It just indicates my preference for, let's say, ideal wave patterns that I want to see to give confidence in a chart. Because the point is, as a trader or even investor, you don't want to invest in a chart that doesn't give confidence. So always what we want to see is confidence. We want the chart to prove to us that it's worth trading or worth investing in. Yeah, we're looking for trade setups also with the help of the Elliott wave method. If you don't have a chart that looks reliable, then it might be worth thinking twice about it, right? Thinking twice about, basically opening a position or looking for a trade setup. So at the moment, I'm still waiting for one more leg up to give us that confidence. But let's start at the most significant low here at around 5 cents. So the view at the moment is that this here is a possible 5-wave move up. Wave 1 done, wave 2 done, wave 3 done, wave 4 probably done, and the wave 5 probably not yet done. And then this would form a higher degree wave 1, which would be followed by a wave 2 correction that, and I've just sketched it out here roughly, should we get to should we already come down from the 16-cent level that we touched yesterday, I think it was, should we already come down now in the wave 2, then we can most likely get into the region between 10.7 cents and 7.7 cents in a wave 2 correction. From here, we then have a chance to rally in a wave 3 that will take us much higher. So this is sort of the assumption, the thesis, the bullish potential that the chart could follow through. But if I zoom in, what we need to see really is, so we already did what was sort of the minimum expectation, yeah? So we already moved in this blue wave 5 above the wave 3. This was the minimum expectation. This is what you need to see. That's what you need to see to basically confirm or make it more likely that we had 5 waves to the upside. We're always looking for 5 waves because the 5-wave move is going into the direction of the higher level trend. At least it's a first indication that the trend really has shifted from a downtrend into an uptrend. That's why a few days ago I told you we need to get where we peaked here in wave 3 here. Told you we need to get into this yellow area, which we did. We need to reverse out of it, which we did. And we need to put a higher high in place than wave 3. Then we can consider this being a 5-wave move. All of that done. But it wasn't strong enough. Yeah, so to make it really, really a good chart or a good wave 5, we want to see 5 subwaves as well. At the moment, I can really only count 3. Well, you can count 5, but you would make it a so-called ending diagonal wave pattern. And if you count it as an ending diagonal wave pattern, again, it loses a little bit of reliability and credibility, but it's possible. So for me, 5 waves are complete. But if we don't put one more high in, which would be ideal here in the yellow wave 5, then it's not the best pattern, right? I would like to see one more leg up into the region of around, let's say, 17.5 to 19 cents. That would be good. And from here, then we could come down in a wave 2, and I would have more trust in the chart to hold critical support levels. If we come down now, I wouldn't have that trust. I wouldn't have that confidence, okay? Especially as at the moment we've already lost the trend line. Now that doesn't mean much yet, but it means that lost the trend line, never a good sign. Now again, there's a couple of ways how a trend line can be drawn, a trend line. So we can even draw it just by considering the closed or the candle open and close the bodies basically. In this scenario, we are just still holding the trend line. So I wouldn't give up on it, but this is really the level where it now needs to move up, I think, when it wants to make another wave 5. If we come down from here, it wouldn't mean that we're already coming down in wave 2. It would simply mean that we might have another attempt of or extend out the wave 4. Yeah, because a wave 4 can stretch out. A wave 4 could be a wave A down, an overshooting wave B, and we come down in wave C. But even then, we need to hold the yellow box. So the 10-cent level. As long as we're holding the 10-cent level, the potential is still there to put a fifth wave in blue. Because if we say the wave 4 was maybe never finished, it extends out, it spreads out in maybe sort of this A, B, C pattern, yeah, then we would want to see it still to hold the 10-cent level. Below the 10-cent level, it loses even more credibility. But let's say, what is my assumption here? So my assumption is at the moment we have put 5 waves in. Again, not great confidence because the wave 5 was very short. For me, it's anyway like I am going to wait what we do in the wave 2. Does the wave 2 look corrective? Does the wave 2 look impulsive? And if we come down into the area between the 50% and the 78.6% retrace, it might be worth starting to scale in, because this would be then a 1-2 setup, a possible trade setup. Of course, not one that has to work out, but it is one, again, what I always mention. It's a 1-2 setup. These are among the best setups in Elliott wave. And it allows you to set the stop loss very tight, because you can set it in a way that is very close to the invalidation point. If you know the invalidation point or the level below which invalidation gets very likely, which is below the 78.6% retrace, then you can go in with quite a low risk and possible high reward. Does it mean support has to hold? No, of course not. It's always a misconception. We're not trying to predict the future here. We're using Elliott wave and other methods to identify low risk and high reward trade setups, and also high probability setups. And there is a degree of predictability, there is a degree of probability, and that's why we're looking for ideal wave patterns. Yeah, there are many charts that always say the chart isn't worth looking at because it just doesn't generate you a high probability setup. Of course, it could work out, but there are sometimes so much better setups out there. Now, I have to say this actually doesn't look too bad, but I would still like to see one more wave up. That would be a great confirmation that we get the proper 5 waves in, and then I'm looking forward to a wave 2 correction that could actually be used for scaling in, but I'll keep you updated about that. Yeah, that's my update about Doge. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership, and also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find the links in the video description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.